Good evening, and welcome to the midpoint of our 5 day forgiveness challenge. Wow. For those of you that have tuned in over the last couple of days, it has been truly amazing. I love that, at least on Facebook, I can see exactly how many views we've had. I know we're over 300 views from Monday. We've got close to 300, I know, for yesterday, and I pray that you guys will hopefully share this message tonight and pass it along again to others as you have all week long. And most importantly, I want to make sure that you guys are getting something out of it. Good evening, Miss Sunny. How are you? Good to see you online. If you are joining in for the first time, this is the 5 day forgiveness challenge. And the whole concept behind this is that I want to talk to you about forgiveness, give you guys some tools and some challenges that will help you let go and move on so that you can live a life of unconditional forgiveness. So the first night we talked about forgiving ourselves and had some a challenge in that you would say something positive to yourself each and every day. Last night we talked about how to forgive when they don't apologize. And the challenge again was to write a letter to that person. And I said for you to share it with yourself or share it with them, or you could share it with me. So I'm going to assume, because I haven't gotten any letters, that maybe you kept it for yourself, or that you are planning to mail it to the person that hurt you. And then tonight we're going to talk about something that's even more fun, more challenging, and that is that in order to forgive, you have to forget. The title of this is Forgive and Forget. How many of us have heard over and over and over again that, I'm going to forgive you, but I'm not going to forget? What does that mean? What does that really mean? When I say, I forgive you for what you did, but I'm never going to forget it. Now, don't get me wrong. If something happens to you, something really terrible happens, somebody hurts your feelings, somebody breaks your heart, somebody does something to you that's unthinkable, absolutely, there is no way on God's earth I'm telling you to forget what happened, because if you were to forget, then that would be an issue for you lifelong. Because you can't bury those feelings, you can't hide those emotions. That's not what I mean by this. What I'm saying is that you can't carry those feelings and judge everybody else by what happened to you in that one situation. What that means is, I don't want you to forget that this person took advantage of you, but what I don't want you to do is to hold that against the next person that you get in relationship with. So I want to read to you a passage from Colossians 3, verse 12 to 14. And this is what the Bible says about forgiveness. And this is why this is so important. Hello, Miss Dana. Glad to see you on Periscope. Here's what Colossians says. Verse 12, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Now, if you need that translated, if that doesn't make sense to you, this is what that really, really means about forgiveness. God commands that we forgive each other just as he's forgiven us. We know that through Christ's death on the cross, it is truly forgiven us of things before we were even born. And there's so many things that we might do that go against what God would want for us. How dare I hold something against my neighbor, my girlfriend, my ex, my sister, my brother? How could I hold something against them that in the grand scheme of things, it's really not as big as what God forgave me for? So that's number one. So now that I've laid the foundation for you, I want you to think back to a time that maybe you weren't forgiven. And this is going to lead us into tomorrow night's discussion, so I won't take a lot of time tonight. But think about a time that you did something wrong, that you felt sorry for, that you apologized and it wasn't received well, or better yet, you never said I'm sorry. Imagine if that person held it against you forever. How would that make you feel, especially if you were truly sorry? How would that make you feel? So that's actually your challenge for tonight. I want you to think of that time that you did not did not say you were sorry to someone. So we've talked a lot about being hurt and holding on to the pain, but we also do some of that ourselves, don't we? Oftentimes, we might get hurt and we hurt others as a result of the pain that we're carrying, then we ultimately hurt somebody else. So what happens if all of a sudden you don't say I'm sorry to somebody else? How does that make you feel? Oh, thank you for all the hearts, Miss Dana. You're so sweet. What happens? How do you live with yourself? How do you move on if that person does not accept your apologies? Thank you. So that's your challenge. Make sure that you think through, who was that person that you hurt? How did it make you feel when you wanted to apologize, and let's just say you couldn't? That person was dead and gone. That person's now in another relationship and it would be uncomfortable and awkward for you to reach out to them. Whatever the scenario is, I want you to think about that, and I want you to write that letter of apology to them tonight. Before you go to bed, I want you to write the apology letter to them tonight. And again, you can mail it to them if it's safe, or you could send it to me, or you could just store it away. Just like last night's letter to the person that hurt you, this is also a way for you to release some of the hurt and the pain that you may be carrying around, because you too know that you've hurt somebody and that they may be holding on to it. So what I really want to challenge you to think about tonight, as I said before, in order to forgive, you must move on. You have to let it go. So by saying that I will forgive you but not forget what you did to me, it's only saying that you're going to treat other people the way you were treated. And that's no way to live your life. If you want to live a life of unconditional forgiveness where you are forgiving others the way Christ has forgiven you, then you will accept this challenge. You'll tell more friends about it and let them know that they're less than 10 minutes. Let them know to go to my Facebook page or Periscope, and they can see to watch the video if they missed it live. And if you have any suggestions, ideas, thoughts, I did have a few conversations last night with people asking me, again, specific questions about forgiveness. So if you want to message me, I'll be online for a while, and I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about do you need to be forgiven? So it's going to be a follow-up to this conversation. So after you've written your letter tonight, we're going to talk a little bit more about how you get forgiveness, especially if you're not able to have that conversation with the person, and a little something special as well I'm going to add to tomorrow night's discussion. And then last but not least, how do you model forgiveness? That's going to be the final night on Friday night. So again, I want to thank you guys for all the love. Thank you for all the hearts on Periscope. Thank you for all the people that are following and sharing on Facebook. All the people that have been promoting the videos before they came on tonight. Thank you so much, and especially to those of you that have reached out to me personally to say how much this has meant to you. I really can't tell you how much it means to me. So thank you so very much. Be blessed. And remember that it's about loving ourselves and forgiving ourselves so we can live a life of unconditional forgiveness. Thank you and good night.